Welcome to Inspiration Radio, Growth Principles for Humanity and Progress. Join us when we share information, wisdom, and ideas how to create an extraordinary future for us all. The future is open. We together decide what will be in it. Welcome to another episode of Winspiration Radio, Growth Principles for Humanity and Progress. And now in the times of changing, not only in the society, but especially also the year, and we see Christmas as a lot of, ideas from the childhood and kids' eyes, very happy ideally. So it is a pleasure to invite it again. Tammy Vallieres from Canada. We have a couple of times in summer with the Kids Entrepreneur Super Camp and a lot of other things. And she has a wonderful energy and also new ideas for kids. And this is for the end of the year and for the next year, 2024. So before we come to the detail, what your new idea is, so if you just can please share for those who listen the first time, what you did with kids, what is so special, why we are so excited about you and your work, and maybe also what happened with the young entrepreneurs, the camp you did in summer, and then we come to this new year experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Wolfgang, for having me on again. I'm a big fan of the work that you do with Winspiration and the radio, right? Inspiring people, educators, listeners to, help create this world that we all desire to move into in the future. So one of the things that I love being in conversation with you is because it's all inspirational stuff, right? We're trying to inspire others with great ideas. And so, of course, Christmas is a time of year where we are inspiring one another, and it's a time of magic and fun and hopefully spreading peace and kindness around the world, right? That's the true meaning of Christmas. So how do we come back to the true meaning of Christmas? What we've got a little character and a little activity that I'm going to be sharing with you is our little Harmony Hare. So Harmony Hare, if you even just think of her name, means about bringing harmony into the world.
Yes.
So she's a beautiful little character, and I love to use stories, right? Stories stick.
You have a lot of characters already.
I have a Disney World of characters. So of course, for Christmas, we had to create our little character, Harmony Hare, who's here about bringing peace, love, and kindness around the world. And I'll be able to share a little bit about who she is and what she's doing in the spirit of Christmas, because we really want to help children come back to the truth, right? And come back to the true meaning of Christmas. Yeah. And sometimes we get caught up in the hustle and bustle and, all about like experiencing gifts under the Christmas tree. But what about the art of giving? And what about the art of true kindness and happiness, the true essence of Christmas? So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Before we have it here in the air with the true Christmas, there is a different things we could talk about. Why do we have Christmas in December? It says Jesus is born in March, but the Kaiser once in Rome, who was it was a kind of sun cult, and when he changed to the Christian side, and they had always with the sun their event in December. So he said, okay, let's move it to December. And for now, the last 2,000 years, a lot of different ideas for Christmas, and the modern Santa Claus, as we know, is invented by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola made it famous. So I just want to mention that because nobody should be offended or have a different idea what is the true meaning of Christmas. But today we talk a lot about the time of special love, caring, and even within the in the world there is maybe a big hustle now about presents, and it's really commercialized. So when we talk about the true meaning, is the true essence, what it should be all about. and if I can say it, and I guess you will then talk later also about with your new project, it's not just about the 2 days, 3 days, or 2 weeks about Christmas. It's just taking Christmas and the important message into our hearts, minds, and actions, and then not only, like I said, for this year, so for maybe the whole next year. And so that I just wanted to clarify this. It's not a kind of nice fantasy, not a nice kid. It's really a very important message.
Absolutely, right? And part of it is everybody sharing their own traditions and
Yeah.
their own thoughts and ideas around Christmas and what the true meaning of Christmas means to all of us and each one of us in different families and different schools and different denominations and backgrounds. You know, that's why I love this little character, Harmony Hare, because it's a little rabbit, right? And it's all about her name, a harmony, and creating more peace, love, and harmony around the world. And her gift is to create these little kindness kits. And the concept is connecting. She wants to gift all the animals around the world with this little kindness kit and give them tools and tips and deliver them with her friend Goose, who's the guide. It's like the animal Santa. And so they're about giving all these animals around the world these kindness kits and how they can spread kindness, not just at Christmas, but if you want to use it and introduce it at Christmas to open up this gift and do your seek and find. And then it's about spreading kindness and going on this journey and this adventure from January up until the next year, December. So again, it's an evergreen program. It's tools and strategies and education and concepts that support, emotional intelligence, that support compassion and empathy, and that support problem solving skills. And so what we're doing is we want families to be able to have conversations and get more engaged with one another. And we want children to be more involved in the process, in building their resource kits together. And then having a community group where they can come together and share the same concepts. So we're stepping away from religion. We're stepping away from Santa Claus. We're just making it about these little animal guides and this little story that, roots in the meaning of what it could mean for spreading kindness around the world, and that it's not just, a one-off, right? We're not expecting it to happen in 3 weeks and it's going to be trained, transformed. We're looking at, month to month. We're growing in personal growth and development, and we're giving children and families and communities a common language that they can come together with the same vision and mission.
Before we continue talking about this new project, I just want to kind of remind or ask you, you started with kids, early age, it was more kindergarten, but it's years ago when you started with them. So they're older now. So what can you see on development? What changed? And anyway, what is your view on kids in this stressy environment, especially after COVID and everything? You still experience, if you do it right in the kindergarten, they can really blossom?
It's funny you're asking me this today, Wolfgang, because the reason why I'm so passionate to get this into the hearts and hands of so many educators is because, like I was saying to you earlier, I reap what I sow, right? So when you give children the tools, the strategies, the structure, the resources, and the lessons to grow in confidence, in social skills, and self-awareness, in leadership, in all these areas, what happens is when you give them and not just one or two, but all of your students an opportunity to step into their hero, right? What happens is you have a whole class of little heroes. And so what happened for me is every year, year after year, we keep getting beautiful, harmonious, socially well advanced children. And we even if we get like really children that are, let's say, delayed in their social skills, maybe autistic or Asperger's and things like that, right? They might have some delays there. That's not their, let's say, strength. When they come in and they have an entire class that knows exactly what to do, how to speak, how to show up, how to be kind and loving and using those manners, and there's nobody else for those children to play off of. There's no behaviors for them to start magnifying those behaviors. So what happens is then those kids start to socialize and follow their peers. So today we actually had one of our EAs pulled from our identified child, right, who has who's autistic. And honestly, it was crazy. And my principal's like, do not repeat this. But he showed up without an EA, the best he has since September. Why? Wow. So why was he able to sit and do his meditation without a sound? Why was he able to walk to the gym? Why was he able to show up in the gym and do all the activities with everybody else and come back? Why was it his best day without a support, without an EA in place? Part of it is like when you take the training wheels off of a bike, what happens? You're wearing your big boy pants on, right? Or your big girl pants on. And there's this sense of, I can do it. I am capable. And they want to prove it to us, right? They want to be like the other children. And we are so structured and so strategic in kindergarten. We do exactly the same routines. So for a child who needs structure, and all children do, they feel comfortable with structure, and there's a system in place and routines, they know exactly what to do. They know when, as soon as they see Miss Vallieres coming, my lights come off. I put our quiet, peaceful music on. They get into a peaceful and quiet meditation. So everybody knows exactly what to do, right? And we go in and they all get to, I choose a leader to choose the friends to line up. We go to the gym, we do our locomotion, we do jumping, skipping, hopping, flying around the gym. We do our stretches, and then we are introduced to listen and learn. And then they learn their lesson, but it's very structured. So there's always the structure of the known. And then each day I teach them something new. So new and known. So for an autistic child or any type of children, they feel a sense of security and safety. So they know what to do. I'm not changing it every single day on them. So from that, a child who, let's say, is autistic or has learning challenges would be able to come in and start to feel safe because they know what to expect. They know what the boundaries are, and they know what Miss Vallieres expects for them to do their very best. And when everybody's doing their very best and they know how to manage their emotions, right? We check in with those emotions and we bring our best behavior to the class. We create these amazing utopiary worlds where then these children that would typically struggle in another classroom are successful, are independent, don't need assistance. And how do you think that makes them feel? They feel proud when they aren't getting constantly reprimanded. They are showing up as little leaders. The whole class was so proud of their little friend, right? They were like, the star in me sees the star in you. And he was so beaming and he had no assistance. What does that do to a 4-year-old? They feel so proud. Right? When they're constantly having to be there and they're the only one that has an assistant. So when you expect the best from children, the best shows up. When you expect them to be their worst, that's who you get. And so a lot of times it's the adults that have to expect it and set those boundaries and put those expectations in place so that the children will rise, right? If you're a leader and you come in and you say, listen, I know everybody around this table, it has strengths and needs. And every single one of you, I want you to bring your genius, your strengths, your inspiration to the table. I want you to bring your best attitude, your best ideas. What's going to show up? You don't even set the tone for them. You don't open up the room and say, how's everybody feeling today? Who's feeling really miserable? Who had a really bad day today? Because that's what's going to come to the table. And that's what you're going to unleash in conversation. But if you say to them, and when I say this is masterclass, we are all showing up as our hero with our hero head, hero heart, and hero hands, right? We're all helping. We're all have a growth mindset, and we all are bringing our love and compassion to the class, right? That's who I get every single time. So you get what you expect.
Yeah, I love to hear it because, I'm not working in the kindergarten. I'm looking at society as whole and dream for a really good democracy. And what we experience, I'm not so familiar with Canada, but I believe is similar. US and Germany, I don't call it really a democracy. Even it's formal, but who is running the politicians, the system, the manipulation media, and there's a lot of things going on. But on the other hand, if we would have a good democracy, basic democracy today, it wouldn't work. Because look at most adults. You can manipulate them. They're delegating a lot of stuff. Oh, should the politicians doing this, and who takes care of me, the doctor or whatever. So there's a lack of self-responsibility there. And that really a democracy can really work, we need different education. And that starts ideally at home, but I guess you experience also that a lot of parents, at least what I see, if we go in a restaurant, the parents partly also sitting on the phone, or they give kids something to play. And
yeah, can I just interject there, Wolfgang? I am so fully present. Like I don't have to do much interference, but I hold that space for them. I'm not distracted and having many conversations over here. They know that I am watching, that I am holding that space for them. And so again, let's say, I'll just give you an example with parents going to the restaurant, right? If I was bringing those children there, I would say, here's my expectation. You're going to, right, show me best manners. And I'm gonna practice. I would probably practice sitting in a little role playing situation. This is what we're like at the restaurant. Here's how we do our manners. Here's how we wait. I would make sure that they were capable of going to a restaurant for that amount of time, right?
You already really in connection with the kid. Yeah, because a lot of what I experience, I don't know, it's really black and white, I know, but I see it a lot that the parents not talking, like you say, connect.
Right, and engaging them, right? Like
just to be quiet. Yeah.
Well, and part of it is if we do go to the restaurant and these aren't what happens, I'm comfortable to pick up and leave and take our food home with us. So letting kids know, right, there's a consequence. So they can't just behave anywhere in any way. So for example, even with our friends coming into the gym, if I have an autistic child and they come in screaming, I say, oh, I'm sorry, you have to leave and then go for a little walk, and you may come back when you're calm, because we don't behave that way in the gym. So instantly they know that they're not allowed to behave that way. And so it's an immediate natural consequence. So then, it can take only 2 weeks to get that.
Behave or not behave, that kids is not only kind of bad behavior, it's really testing the
right, they're testing the boundaries.
Yes.
Right. So that's why we say beaver boundaries. Like Beaver is our master teacher who teaches us about a safe space. So you really can't grow, right? You can't grow in relationship. You can't grow in self-discovery and personal growth. You can't grow in confidence if you're not in a safe space. So the number one thing that we do in kindergarten masterclass with Bieber is a safe space. The second animal, so if you draw the triangle, these are called my terrific trio. The second animal is goose, and goose is all about goose guidance and social skills. So what are goose? When you think of geese, right? They are cooperation, communication, collaboration. They fly in a team. They work smarter, not harder, right? They shared leadership. So we're all about developing social skills. If you don't teach social skills, children don't naturally just know how to be in social events. Neither do adults sometimes. You have to put that into place. Mm-hmm. And the last one that creates our triangle is starfish. And starfish is all about self-aware, self-regulation, self-navigation, right? So all of these things about the self. So when we're doing that, it's social skills and self-aware, right? And self-smart. So, and then, but before you teach about the self and about social skills, you have to first put the safe space in place. And so that's the biggest thing. And it's funny, but we're not taught in school how to do this. And it's not the foundation, right? A lot of times we'll, at the end of it, when it's out of control, we'll try to go back and find that. But it's like building a house and trying to put the foundation after the house and building's already up. You can't do that.
No. I would say like to talk a little bit before we come to the Christmas idea or the New Year idea again, to really make sure what it's really all about, and the true meaning. Because when you said it's not in school, what you just said, a lot of homes, a lot of families, it's not there that you can feel.
Right.
And you mentioned autistic kids, but a lot of kids today have whatever kind of trauma. Like
absolutely,
I'm an older guy,
it's not just autistic; it's all children
secure at home, and the most drama we have, we are not seen, and developing a trauma, and then we have whatever compensation behavior. And just looking at the war, is it Ukraine or whatever? Mm-hmm. It's some, hurt kids, traumatic kids, just got older and in a powerful position. But they're not there yet that they can really live their true self.
If I could put it like this, Wolfgang, you can't go out and buy a vehicle without getting a driver's license and getting trained, right?
Yes.
Yet anybody can have a child.
Yes.
So what happens is where's the preparation? Right? Just because you can have a child doesn't know you're good at raising a child. Just because you let's say could get a vehicle wouldn't mean necessarily that you know how to drive a vehicle and you know all the rules. So at some point we have to learn this stuff. And so what I am trying to do is, because this is my superpower, this is what I live, breathe, sleep, eat every single day. And I have coaching background, coaching tools, education, 25 years. I teach over 65 children a day. I'm really good at this. So what I'm trying to do is being able to share it in a way that I can share my knowledge, share my resources, share my tools and my strategies, and bring it into homes, into schools, and into centers at the most affordable prices. And even for people, let's say, who can't afford it, right, at a very affordable price, it's like you buy one and we can gift one to somebody else. So we can start to pay this forward. I believe if you had a baby, you should be able to have a resource kit, a toolkit on how to parent and best raise, some basic skill sets in place as soon as you realize you're pregnant, right? Or a teacher should be given these strong personal growth and development behavior management strategies resource kit for every classroom, because it is not easy. It's one of the hardest jobs, right?
Yeah, it should, but it's not there yet. But you do it for years and you see it growing, and there's so much hope in it, because now I know that you get teachers from all over the world, try to learn your system, the characters, use it. And when we talked in summer about the entrepreneurial camp with kids, there were already teachers from all over the world there to learn this concept or participated already. So that is really, really hope. it's growing, and we see. Well, I wouldn't say easy, but I see it's so much easier what you can do with the kids and how they respond to it than what we do in otherwise in a society. And later, if they wouldn't be experienced that, the society has it more difficult, and your kids happy and learned to take care of themselves and also for the group. Yeah, this is what we expect or dream of in society, but expect also from leaders. At least then we know here are new leaders in the making.
Well, it's habit formation, right? It's like the reason why, if you expose children like the Olympics really young is because if they develop these these challenges and how to embrace fear and how to jump in with both feet and persevere and learn these skills early on, we
Yeah.
see how advanced they become, right, by age 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's just, and versus starting really late in life, like 18, 17. Same with entrepreneurial children. If you give them the skills, and entrepreneurial skills are really about helping children be successful in the future, because they're all the learning skills that that you could apply on that, the things that we learn way too late in life, like money and understanding finances and understanding how to overcome challenges and all the things that they richly learn, even if they don't develop a business.
Yeah,
Honestly, at
it's
the
not
end of the
about
day, if
it's
your
there.
child has developed the skills.
Yes, it's not about business really. Life is an
No.
enterprise, and then not really. It's about what kind of tax declaration you need to do as an employee or an entrepreneur. No, that's not. It's really about an entrepreneurial mindset and the capability to live like taking care of a family. If you buy a house,
Right.
everything that is a huge enterprise. Yeah.
Right. Well,
And
organizational skills,
yes,
communication skills,
yes,
character building skills,
yes,
overcoming challenges,
yes,
solution seeking. All these things at the end of the day are the what the goals are, the learning goals of becoming this. Even if they don't take the entrepreneurial journey, what you're doing is equipping your child or your students with this kind of communication, these skill sets. Not only that, your circle of influence. So imagine if you're part of a community and group that think like this, that are thinking like this. What they're not doing is over here getting into trouble and gossiping and causing trouble and focused on the problems. And that's, again, you're as smart as the people you surround yourself with. So we want to create a community group, right, that is kind and loving. And it's all about intentions. So what's your intention? You put that at the forefront, and then it's about reaching those goals. And that 1% rule, like if you do a little bit every single day, eventually, where are you going to be in a year from now? Where are you going to be in 4 years from now? In 10 years from now? Versus you don't start at all. And then you get into really bad habits over here that are really all about, the ego, negative, complaining, and it's a downward spiral. Every day you're either going a little bit down or you're going a little bit up. And then it's the distance between the two that really showcase how you're going to show up in your life and how successful you are.
yeah, it is so true. Okay, you just mentioned the characteristics, the skills, how to work together, to listen, the communication. When we talked about the entrepreneurial stuff, well, then this way we come back to Christmas, and when yeah, family meets ideally. That is a lot of things to organize. It's a group to organize. It's like the enterprise as well, and it's ideally not just about money, not just buying presents. That's not the most important thing. Ideally, it's what they call it. It's a really is a time for love, for family to really come together again.
Mm-hmm.
And here we're also in the communication. How can we communicate? So what you shared with your kids, how they come together, what kind of rituals? And I know a lot of families don't have this. Maybe they have the formal thing with the presents, or they have stress before. Oh, need to have a present, and not, oh, I need to be better at love. I need to be better in communication. So here we come, what we see today, what is it really, ideally, what we want to see happening in a family in Christmas. So if you take the kids entrepreneurial or kids general, we intelligence, the we Q intelligence, what would be the ideal possibility how people communicate?
Well, and I love where you bring in the we, right? Because inspiration is about, it's about I and we, right? So again, to me, when you first come into, if you want to create change, change happens within ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. Let's face it, we bring the peace or we bring the chaos based on our inner world. So I can't, number one, go into my classroom and create these calm, beautiful, utopian learning environments if I'm in a chaotic space. So this is an opportunity for both educators and parents with their children to create more peace. And it's an interactive thing that they could do together. It's not just gifting it and there you go, you're on your own, but this is an opportunity for them to work together in community and in collaboration.
So if we take this for now, and whoever listens now, if you listen, what is your intention before you meet the family? What are you thinking about? Oh, shit. Or need to sit there 3 days again with people I don't like? Or is it really, wow, I prepare myself also to give love, to make really the, a wonderful, you call it family or whatever it is, you call it a super group, the superhero groups, maybe would you say, or the super community. And it's really about giving. Anyway, networking and everything is also about giving. Romantic relationship is about giving, not just receiving.
Right. It's a balance of give and take, right? And it's a balance between educate, elevate, and empowering your kids as well as yourself. So again, we can't change children, right, if we don't change ourselves. We can't change a new generation if we keep projecting all of our belief systems and all of our old paradigms onto kids. So part of it is that we as parents, teachers, and educators have to change ourselves, change our own thinking, change our own energy so that we can show up differently with the kids and so that they learn to show up differently. So it's a partnership, it's a mentorship that we're creating here with this resource kit.
Yes. But it's not about making it up for the kids. It is really be it, ideally. Huh? So we want to feel better. We want to have this community. We want to be individual with different strengths, starfish, but we want really, always this is about belonging. We want to partly be seen, but we want to give. All the science is done or surveys or whatever about happiness is love to give. But most people don't dare really anymore to give from themselves. Giving is not the meaning, oh, I take money and buy something and give it. It's really being also.
But so how do we do that?
Yes.
Right. So how do we do that? That's the big question. How do we do that? Yes. So it's like, if you don't know how to fix your brakes, you don't know how to do it. You don't have the tools, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the resources. So if you don't know how, you're just going to go around with your brakes squealing, right? And you're not going to know how to change it unless you go to somebody else. And we're trying to give everybody the tools and the strategies and the how. So this is why we're trying to do this. So how are we trying to do this? Well, the first thing we've done is we've created a little character called Hare. So this is a little character that you would, pardon?
Why did you choose the rabbit for this? I would say the rabbit and Easter. Oh, I understand it.
Oh, because there's a very important thing. Why? Because if you know, one of the most powerful stories is the story of the tortoise and the hare, right?
Mm-hmm.
The rabbit and the hare. So there's that great race. So there's a background story to Harmony Hare. So it goes all the way back. And even before that, there's a transformational story. So if I give you a couple of key things, Harmony Hare was a little rabbit that was in a pet store, and a family decides to buy her for Easter when all of the rabbits, right, are really popular. But they buy her on a whim, right? It was like, oh, let's buy a rabbit. And then they realized rabbits are a lot of work, right? And the family gets tired and, decides, how about we release this rabbit into the forest? And so they release the rabbit into the forest. And how do you think Harmony Hare feels? Right? Here she is. She's abandoned in the forest. She doesn't know how to survive in the forest. She didn't grow up in the forest. So we talk about responsible pet owners is one area. And then she goes through the many emotions. So we're able to talk to children about their emotions. So how do you think Harmony would feel being left in the forest? Right? But abandoned by her family. Sad. And then at night, she feels scared. And then she becomes angry. So now she becomes the boastful bullying bunny, and she puts all that anger there. So she wasn't born angry. Things happened to her along her journey that transitioned her into the boastful bullying bunny. And that's how we hear about the story of the tortoise and the hare. And we know this rabbit who's like, I'm the fastest of all of you, and challenges the little tortoise, the little turtle, to a race. Well, what happens is that little turtle might be slow, but 1%, that turtle goes and ends up winning the race. Why? Not because he was the fastest, not because he was in his winning lane, but because slow and steady, he just kept going. And that rabbit that was so boastful and so overconfident was having a nap over there. And she realizes, hey, oh my goodness, he has been working so hard and I'm never going to catch up to him. And she doesn't. But you know what happens then, Wolfgang? We have this little story that is all connecting the dots and all an easy tool to teach and talk to your children about and understand your own emotions. And what happens is that turtle isn't boastful. That turtle isn't bragging. That turtle is humble, shows compassion, shows empathy and understanding. And that transforms Harmony Hare's heart. And she decides she wants to be kind, and she wants to pay this kindness forward. And so at Christmas, she wants to give all the animals around the world this kindness kit so that she can pay it forward. So there's a background story here, and we can trace the storylines and we can trace the emotions all the way back, and we can start to do deep dive and have conversations and have tools. So what Harmony Hare is all about is because she was shown an act of kindness, right? And she showed the power of friendship. She wants to now support other animals all around the world and help them become kind and loving and compassionate and help to make the world a better place.
Super. I also love the expression pay it forward, because if I give something and want that is paid forward, I'm not expecting something directly back to me.
Right.
So that is wonderful. If we just take this for the Christmas, all Christmas meetings go in with the intention of pay it forward, the good intention of the family, pay it forward. Yeah, wonderful. Before we come now to your program, so you explained now why the rabbit, the kindness, and I guess there's really Christmas and movies and old stories from Dickens and everything. Christmas is really a wonderful time to open up the hearts, to really connect with the kindness. And now you have a new idea for working with kids to really I wouldn't say connect with them, but ideally your kids at least are connected already, but who really how to manifest it, implement it deeper, and bring it into the world. So please share what the idea is.
Well, here's the thing. At Christmas, we're doing this at Christmas in the spirit of Christmas because it's the idea of gifting, right? Gifting this forward and gifting it into homes and schools and centers. So if you wanted to gift Harmony Hare and this little character and this resource in and downloadable program and be part of a conscious community who wants to bring more peace, love, kindness, and harmony around the world, then this is something you could give to a teacher. This is something you could give to a family. This is something you could give to your child's daycare center. I mean, Christmas opens up the opportunity for us to be able to buy gifts, share gifts, and if we're going to gift it to something and give it to someone, why not make it homes, schools, and centers that could spread more joy, more kindness, more harmony, and have the actual mentorship, resources, tools, course, community to be able to support this deeply and specifically. So the campaign is all around Christmas because it's the best opportunity for us to be able to get behind this. But the journey is a 7-week journey that we start in January. And if they want to continue, there is opportunities to continue for the whole year. But this little kindness kit, this downloadable, this resource, this gift that we're offering, that if you buy one for a really affordable price, right? And then we will gift it forward to another family. So buy one and then one could be gifted. So it's really amazing. So the value of it is about $249, but this special offer at Christmas with a discount code and price, it's only as low as $39. So with a coupon code, and that's amazing, right? To have 7 weeks of a course, of a book, of a story, of interactive resources, and a community group for that long. So it's a really high value.
Get it right, because I didn't understand the details, and I don't know if we can manage it. We will try to bring it out before Christmas, but you said it's also if you listen to it after Christmas, it's still interesting to follow with this. So I understand you have a kind, we would say, landing page, a page where in the website page where it is. And there is an online program for kids. Is that right?
Yes, but what happens is you build it. So it's a downloadable resource. So you download the PDF, you download all the materials and resources. So I'll give you a concept. So at Christmas, when you open the box, you're given a task to seek and find these items. So you have to go and find these items. You have to build your resource kit. So you have to go outside. I'll give you 2 examples. So one example is you have to find a rock and a feather. Why, Wolfgang? Why would we put a rock and a feather? And I'll tell you something, out of every object in the entire world, my favorite teaching tool is a rock and a feather. Why? And how do I use them? Do you want to know why?
Yeah, sure.
So a rock, which is free, you can go outside, you don't have to spend any money for it, you find the perfect rock. And what size of a rock, right? So I say to the kids, when you are angry, sad, mad, or frustrated, how do you feel? Do you feel light like a feather or heavy like a rock? So when you're talking about this animal, this Harmony Hare, when she went into the forest and she was dropped off, what were the emotions when she was dropped off out in the forest? How did the family feel dropping her off? Right? So it's not judging them as right or wrong, good or bad. We're not judging. We're saying that must have felt very heavy, right? And when they purchased her, right, for Easter, they must have felt light like a feather, right? That felt light like a feather. So now again, we're not judging it. We're not criticizing. We're just identifying the feeling as being light and heavy. So that teaching tool, I hope everybody who's listening to you right now goes out and gets a feather and a rock. Because when my children, my students come around me and they are sad, angry, or mad, I say, right now, can you help me understand how you're feeling? Do you feel light like a feather or heavy like a rock? Heavy like the rock, right? And Miss Vallieres would like to help you feel lighter. So what's a lighter thought? What's a lighter action? What's a lighter, feeling that we could get to? Right? So it gives them language. The problem is children don't know how to move in transition out of these emotions. And as adults, we don't have the tools and the strategies to help them understand and identify what they're feeling. So that just gets blogged up, built up inside of them, and they just react, right? Instead of respond. So we have strategies, breath work. Okay, we're going to breathe, right? 5 deep breaths. Okay, well now, after 5 deep breaths, do you feel lighter or heavier? Right? Now they can identify that that's a strategy, and now you are able to calm them down and you can transition them. Well, if you don't know how to do that, you're screaming at them, and your anger, frustration is getting heavier, which means their frustration and anger, which is now magnifying this, now is an explosion, a tsunami. Or when my little friends are doing this, Miss Vallieres is very calm. I'm not getting mad. My tone and my voice is light like the feather. And so I can guide them step by step by step into an easier place. So I'll give you another little example. We had a little friend who gets very emotional very regularly. She doesn't have the skills. So as we were going to the gym, she was very sad, just crying. And the other teacher, would you want to clean it? I'm just bawling. I said, I'm not sure why you're so sad right now, because right now we're going to do something really fun. And you're missing out on that because you're feeling so what? Heavy like a rock. That's right. So Miss Vallieres is going to put 2 shirts on you. I'm going to put your green shirt on you that feels light like a feather. That's the green zone when you're happy and peaceful. And then I'm going to put your sad shirt over top of you, the blue shirt, because you're feeling so heavy and sad. And you're going to watch the game that we're playing, because we're playing What Time Is It, Mr. Grinch? And I hope that you can see that there's really no reason for you to be sad. And by hopefully when you see everybody else in the fun and playful green zone feeling light like a feather, that you might want to take off that blue sad shirt, and you might want to be able to get to your happy light like a feather place. Because right now you're feeling what?
For example, did I understand it right? If you have a 7 weeks program, they get every week something like this, or every day?
Every week. They get to master it. They get a lesson. They get activities. They get to be part of a conversation.
Do I get it right that it's not just, it sounds wonderful for kids, but like you shared, there's always someone asking. It sounds for me also that it's a very interesting tool for parents, that they learn about the examples, that they have then the idea and learn the skills how to communicate and interact better with the kids. Is that true?
Right. Absolutely. And that's the whole point. Like when you saw this little girl, she sat there at a bench. I wasn't fighting and arguing with her. I wasn't getting mad at her. I just gave her the tools, her rock and her feather. I put on the emotions, and I said, when you feel lighter, Miss Vallieres, and when you're ready, I would like you to take off your blue shirt, which is your sad one, so you can physically take it off. And we're going to give you this on, imagine having this on Harmony Hare. You've got these emotion badges on Harmony Hare that you could take off. It's like this toy, interactive toy, that you could play and learn these skills with a rabbit, so that you're not as emotionally charged and you could learn with it. Yeah. It's a teaching tool in the family.
Another question, because we assume coming at an end, and I want to really make it clear what it's good for, that we can really target it to the right audience. So parents, kids, this relationship I see. And then most kids have friends. And I think the success will be better when it's not only you do it only for one kids, but if you have the friends, that the group gets this kind of language, so that they can then later help each other with the tools. So it sounds wonderful. And
that's why my kids do so well in my classroom, Wolfgang, because they all have the same language. Sorry?
What is the page they should go to?
We're going to be, oh, shoot. I have it here
Okay, we will
somewhere.
we put it later,
Yeah,
and
we'll put it up there.
that's people can do it. And just if it's $39, it's wonderful. And like you said, okay, you can share with someone else, like with the neighbors. But the best is that you deeply understand. It's not just simply a program that we all learn to be more compassionate, kindness. That is not just a simple training tool for kids, done for us all, and create a language that we can interact better and create for us all a better life. That we really be inspired, ideally, inspired. Tammy, you have so much energy, but anyway, sorry, we are at the end of this show, and whenever you listen to it, as it's Christmas or after Christmas, go to the page, share it with and you can sponsor it for others. It's a wonderful tool, and the experience of Tammy and all the kids, a wonderful development. It's really something good for the world, and that is especially super something for the true Christmas spirit. Thank you, Tammy, and forgive me that I'm a little bit now with you short in the end, but I wish you with this a lot of success.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, I hope everybody just takes that one tool, those two teaching tools, and that's for free. There you go. Go and have the language and have the support for your children and your family.
Spread the kindness, and when we talk about the best is yet to come, you can organize it that it goes faster, comes faster.
Right.